1 2 3 4.
قلبي يا قلبي تركني يا قلبي، مش وقتها هلأ ارجع حب. هلأ ما في ومنا بإيدي، ما بعرف شو صارله هالقلب. معقولي حبيتك عذوقي لقيتك بعيوني في انت وبس. ليالي ليالي عم بسهر ليالي واشتاق لك من دون ما احس. قلبي يا قلبي تركني يا قلبي، مش وقتها هلا ارجع حب. لا لا هلا ما في ومنا بايدي، ما بعرف شو صارله هالقلب. ما بعرف شو قلك لو في ما قلك عن قلبي وشو صاير فيه، ومبين علي في سر بعيني. طمني حسيت بشي. قلبي يا قلبي تركني يا قلبي، مش وقتها هلا ارجع حب. لا لا هلا ما في ومنا بايدي، مين اللي ما عنده على قلبه غالي، مين اللي ما بده يسهر ليالي، واللي ما بيسهر وبيعشق لشو دا يخلق، هيدا مش منا مش منا اللي قلبه خالي. مين اللي ما عنده على قلبه غالي، مين اللي ما بده يسهر ليالي، واللي ما بيسهر وبيعشق لشو دا يخلق، هيدا مش منا مش منا اللي قلبه خالي. نحنا اللي منا حتى أحلامه.
Okay, I turned off the music. People are going to be arriving shortly. And this is one of the 2 book readings that I'll be doing. There's only one person so far who has joined me, and I'm just going to be waiting a few more minutes. Okay, it's almost 3. I'll turn off this video. Hey, Lucia, welcome. I'm still waiting on a few more people.
Hey, Susie, great to see you.
Me too.
You look great.
Thank you. I'm still waiting. So, yeah, just hanging out. I'm sure some people will show up. It's just taking some time. So patience is the name of the game. I would start, but there's only 2 people out of 12 confirmed, so I'm just gonna wait a few more minutes.
No problem. Take your time.
Okay. Okay, I don't know that I want to wait longer than this. um, I might have to cut the beginning of this video too. So, give it a couple more minutes, but I'm.
I was thinking, Susie, like a live event. You know, it takes time for people to park and arrive, and I know it's online, but hey, it's fine for me to hang out. So if you want to wait a bit longer, it's no problem on my side.
Okay, I mean, I don't know, like what the. I could just give it another few minutes. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, well, thank you for being here, and thank you, Nasreen. Sorry for the wait, but it is what it is.
No problem, Susie. I'm sorry I was late. And I'm sorry if I cannot join by voice or video because I'm multitasking at the same time.
No problem, not at all.
And then I don't mean to be rude, but what was your agenda? How long is the reading, and would there be questions and answers after?
Yeah, I can share the agenda actually. So, of course, I wanted to start by introducing myself because some people that actually signed up don't know me, don't know who I am. So, and then I'm just going to read a few sections from the book, which probably would take 20 minutes, maybe 25 at most. And then I was going to do a meditation with everyone, more of like a visualization, and kind of share the technique that I write about in the book with people. And then I'm just going to open it up to questions. So, you know, you're welcome to stay for as long as you want. I blocked off 2 hours for it, but it could be less. And I'd love to hang out with people afterwards if people wanted to stay. Hi, Sean.
Hi, sorry I was a little late.
No worries. It seems like the world is late today.
One of my friends called from Nice, and you know, so.
Well, it's lovely to have you. Thank you for joining me. And I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes and then start. And I'll just let people in as they show up because it's already 10 minutes till 3. So I know people have other things they want to do with their time, and have my friend Lucia who's in Italy. So it's getting really late over there right now.
About 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's good to see you.
Yeah. You want me to turn my video off? I can turn my video off.
No, it's whatever you're comfortable with. I think Nasreen and Lucia have other things going on at this time. So whatever you feel like doing, really.
Well,
Whatever you're comfortable doing.
okay. Well, I just want you to be able to focus and not be distracted.
Oh, I'll be fine. I'm going to be reading a book. Okay, well, maybe I should get started, get it over with. Okay, well, thank you to everyone who's joining me. I know there were a few people who signed up and have not shown up yet, so hopefully they will get to watch this because I'm recording it. I'm just gonna start by thanking everyone again. And then also introducing myself for those people who don't know me. I am an artist and a longtime practitioner of yoga. And I also do trauma release and I do energy work. And I've set up a space in Italy, which at the moment I'm unable to reach, so that I can have retreats there at some point. And I also have a yoga school designation, and I am planning on running a yoga training in October for anyone called to work with me. Please reach out. And I just wrote a book. And
show the book again.
Yeah. The title is Sex in the 21st Century, Healing Collective and Individual Trauma. And I am going to be reading a few sections of the book right now. And I'll start with actually chapter 1, which I titled Mythology. And this section is called Adam and Eve. Let's begin where it all began, in the Garden of Eden, with Adam and Eve and their fall from grace. We are told in the Bible, the Old Testament, and the Quran that Adam and Eve were banished from heaven because they did not obey God's orders and ate from the forbidden tree. Consequently, they now saw that their physical body is naked. As a punishment, they had to hide parts of their body that were considered evil, dirty, and sinful. Adam and Eve will now have to procreate by having sex. This myth shows us how sex had got a bad reputation. Wait, what about Lilith? Where does she fit into the myth? There is mention of Lilith only once in the Old Testament, in Isaiah 34:14, where Lilith is said to be the screech owl, a nocturnal demon. She's also mentioned in Sumerian and Babylonian poems as a prostitute of the goddess Ishtar and the handmaid of Inanna. I'm not going to go into all the details of the myth here, and will only focus on what is relevant to the issues I raise within this book. If the reader is interested in more in-depth, there is a great article on the internet about Lilith by Simona Rich that goes into detail about all the myths surrounding Lilith. There are two creation myths in the Old Testament. The second creation account comes from Genesis 2, and it is the story we are most familiar with, which I described above. The first creation myth in Genesis 1 goes like this. And God created man in his image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Genesis 1:26-27. This verse points to male and female being created equally and at the same time, and no one having been created from anyone's rib. Old Testament studies have shown that in the Middle Ages, the biblical scribes were influenced by Sumerian and Babylonian mythology and added Lilith as Adam's first wife. Lilith was banished from Eden because she did not obey Adam. The myth recounts that the reason she was banished was that she would not submit sexually to Adam. Lilith then left and coupled with a demon, Samuel. Lilith fell from Eden and became a demon who claimed all the seminal fluid of humankind if it did not fall within a wife. God saw that Adam was alone and created Eve from his rib so that she could submit to him. It's really difficult to tell if these are indeed true stories or mere metaphor. For me, this myth deeply portrays our current worldwide situation when it comes to gender inequality, misogyny, and the status of women in society. It also is very telling about the suppression of feminine sexuality. These are the myths most of humanity has been programmed with at an early age. We have been taught to look down on sex, which has made us crave and want it in secret, oftentimes in the unhealthiest ways. Can we imagine another way? A different story, perhaps? Let us see. So that's as far as I'm going with this section.
It's beautiful. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Susie, I love it. I want to hear more.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to skip a lot of pages and go to another page now. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So now I will be reading. This is actually from the same chapter, believe it or not, just a different section. Yeah. Okay, so this is a little bit more personal. Not too personal, but kind of personal. It was in 1996, upon deciding to go back to college to get another BA and this time in fine art, because I have another BA in archaeology, that I was alerted to the enormity of this issue. I remember clearly how a 19-year-old woman I met at the dorms at Lock Haven University was venting to me about how sad and depressed she is because she hasn't had sex yet and all her friends have. She was worried that she must find a boyfriend as soon as she can, otherwise her peers will think her weird. What a disgrace, just because she has not had a sexual partner at the tender age of 19. I had a feeling she was confiding in me because she figured I'm a married woman. I must have a lot of experience and wisdom to give about these matters. But this could not be any further from the truth, because at 28 years, I did not have the slightest experience or wisdom to offer. Da-da-da-dum, 3 dots. I'm not going further.
But do you go further in the book?
Love it.
Okay, the final section, no, actually there's 2 more sections.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you feel different today?
About,
Like you have some wisdom and advice to give?
yes.
And do you do that in the book?
Yeah, that's why I wrote the book. I better have, I'm, getting on 52 now, so. Okay. I'm gonna pass on this one. Actually, I think I'll just share one more section. Yeah. Okay, so this section is towards the end of the book. I think it's chapter 3. Let me just confirm. Yep, chapter 3, somewhere in chapter 3. This is more of what to do about sex education. And the title of the section is New Curriculums in Partnership, Process, Content, and Structure. And I got these from Riane Eisler. I don't know how many are familiar with her, but if you don't know her, I highly recommend checking her out. She's a great visionary. So here I say, in the year 2000, that's 20 years ago, Riane Eisler wrote a visionary book entitled Tomorrow's Children, a blueprint for partnership in the 21st century. In what follows, I suggest curriculums about sex, which follows Eisler's prescribed approach to education in changing what we teach, how we teach it, and where we teach it. How do we teach about sex? The how must include not only the intellectual capacity, but also emotional, somatic, and body learning, and the cultivation of conation or willpower. Lack of self-discipline can be induced by fear of failure, lack of self-esteem, lack of goals, purpose, and willpower, as well as negative mental programs. How do we help our boys and girls cultivate a healthy will? How do we help children navigate all these issues without breaking their spirit? One answer is teaching and engaging children in activities that activate the prefrontal cortex, such as puzzle solving and activities that model self-discipline and self-control, such as sports. Learning to control one's desires is a skill that is learned with repetition. We must always show children that they will be heard, respected, and understood when there is a question about sex. Guilt, shame, and punishment. I'm getting a little emotional.
Thank you for being so vulnerable. We got you, Susie. We're here. We got you.
It's cool. Thanks.
My dear, dear friend, you're doing amazing. Amazing.
Thank you. Okay, guilt, shame, and punishment must never be used in sex education. Having a caring, nurturing, and loving attitude at all times, regardless of questions or situations that may arise. As far as what do we teach about sex? What we teach is nourishment for the mind and must be considered carefully. We must make amends to whatever is not working so far. Teaching children about sex must surely be age appropriate and yet must continuously emphasize the natural aspect of sex. Honesty, integrity, and transparency are needed. Let's not invent tales, but find ways to deliver the truth that are approachable. I don't think I'm going to post this at all.
You got it, girl.
To a
It's
variety.
beautiful.
On the
I will.
contrary, you should. This is
This
real.
is amazing. This is real humanity.
You're making me cry.
Okay, just a side note, if Maya here is a childhood friend. Thank you, Maya, for being here. Okay. What did I get? Okay, sorry. Sidetracked. Honesty, integrity, and transparency are needed. Let's not invent tales, but find ways to deliver the truth that are approachable to a variety of ages. I would add to Rianne's list that bringing back ethics into curriculums is a must. And I have like a whole chapter dedicated to that in the book. So much morality and ethics have been removed from our present social order. Duh. Where do we teach about sex? The final consideration when building curriculums in the spaces is the spaces where we teach. Naturally, the answer is at home and at school. Both environments must strive to instill gender balance and equality, doing away with gender discrimination. Better still, completely removing reference to gender in situations that may prove to be hurtful towards the genders. So where to begin with a new curriculum? Perhaps a good place to start is to address taboos about sex, which is pretty much the point of my book. Sexuality that have existed from many centuries. I will list a few that come to mind in the following chapter. Okay, and I'm not gonna read anymore. I wanted to invite you to actually do a practice if you're wanting to. Oh. Kyla, welcome. I just got done reading. I'm sorry you missed it. But we are going to be practicing right now. So if you'd like to join us, we are going to go into a meditation, visualization. And I talk in the book about the importance of embodying the 5 elements. And this teaching comes from the yoga tradition. So I'm just going to lead you through a practice right now to embody these elements, and you can have a sense of what it is like to practice in this way. Okay, if you want to come to a comfortable seat, you can have your feet on the floor or just sit in a traditional cross-legged position with the palms in the lap or on the knees. Spine is straight. And just go ahead and close the eyes. No, I'm gonna mute everyone who's not muted, just so that we can have some silence. Okay, so as you come into your body, just taking a few deep inhales and exhales here to come into the body. Deep inhale from the nose. You can exhale from the mouth. Really deep breaths, grounding you. And just imagine that you have roots growing from your root chakra down into the core of the earth. Really hugging the core of the earth. And then roots also shooting up from the top of your head all the way up into the sun. So you're connected below and above. And then imagine a white light surrounding you, a bubble of white light. And just that feeling of groundedness, that's earth. That's the element of earth, the feeling of connecting to the earth. Whether you're feeling yourself seated, feeling the seat beneath you, whether you're on the floor, if your feet are touching the floor. That's connecting to the earth element. Also, coming into your body is connecting to the earth element. So, really feeling your body from head to toes. Now noticing the breath for the air element. Noticing your inhales and your exhales. Is your breathing shallow? Are you breathing into the full capacity of your lungs on both the inhale and the exhale? Now slowly, I'd like you to just raise your arms as slowly as you can. And just feeling that movement. Raise them up and bring them down. And this is water. This movement, the slow, non-jerky, flowy movement, that's water. That's the element of water. So if you're moving, no matter what movement you're doing, whether you're dancing or doing yoga or just going about your day, that's how you embody that water. And you can bring the arms down. And slowly bringing your attention to the space surrounding your body. That would be the ether element. But also not just the outside, the inside. So if you bring your attention into your emotions, how you're feeling right now. Inner and outer. And then finally, the fire. So I would invite you to constrict your glottis and pretend like you're cleaning your glasses. But keep your mouth closed so you're making a hissing sound like a bee. And the quality of this breath is fire because it's a digestive kind of breath. anything that's digestive is fire. And then just slowly coming back to your neutral breathing. And whenever you're ready, you can open the eyes. And I have people waiting to be admitted.
Hi.
And we're gonna take our time. Whenever you're back, I will open it up to questions.
Thank you. This was wonderful. And I might have to leave this meeting, although I would have loved to stay. I just have to take care of the kids. You gave me a paradise moment. And actually, I had my stepdaughter here with me do the meditation with us, and she loved it too. All of a sudden, we were sitting outside and we could hear every single leaf and feel the breeze and enjoy nature 10 times more than we could before. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nasreen. I appreciate you being here.
All right. Thank you. And we love the book, and I'll make sure to buy it. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Sounds good. Let me know if you have any questions.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So the point of this meditation was to just give you an idea of how to embody the 5 elements, which is not an easy thing to do. It's something that yoga teaches about, that one must embody all these things all at the same time. And you can see how difficult it is to be in all these perspectives all at the same time. I think the people that actually are able to do that are like the ascended masters and those who have actually transcended all duality. It's a work in progress. But there is a powerful cleansing breath too in my book that I talk about, the Bhuta Shuddhi, and it comes from the yoga tradition. And that's a powerful way to cleanse and kind of like focus to be able to embody these elements. Okay, well, if anyone has questions, I know my sister Maya joined us, and right at the moment we're getting out from the meditation. Hey, Maya. Sorry, I didn't mean to mute you.
Sorry, but I didn't know, Lan. I was waiting for like you to accept me.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I found that I was accepted. Right?
Yeah. Anyhow, any questions? Yes, Sean.
So I was curious to learn, and a disclaimer, I really felt how meaningful and touching some of these elements are. But I'm curious to learn maybe, what was your deep inspiration that compelled you really to write this book?
Thank you for that question. I think the answer is multi-layered. I think on one level, it was a catharsis for me. But then there was a deeper calling, because I definitely never thought of myself as writing a book, let alone about sex. I just felt like there were some insights that I was getting as I was going about my days about sex that I felt needed to be shared. And I wanted them to be shared widely. And I figured if I just wrote a blog about them, they're not going to get far. And why not write a book and share it that way? that was mostly the reason why. And
oh, sorry.
no, I was going to say, you know, and of course it's like from personal experience too. So
Are you able to, or are you going to incorporate some of this in your yoga courses and trainings and so forth? Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Great.
There is a section in the book too that I did not really read from today, and it's about the journey into the womb, which is how this whole thing started. About me, I wouldn't call myself a therapist. I'm not a therapist, but I do offer an intuitive insight into things that are going on with someone, and I can help with the art therapy. So I'm not a therapist per se, because I didn't train that way, but because of my understanding of different healing modalities and the way I combine them, so it's something that I've been offering, the journey into the womb, for several years. And unfortunately, I was supposed to be leading something in Italy this year, and it got canceled. I was teaming up with another teacher in Italy. He's Portuguese, but anyway, that's another story for another time. But thank you. Any other questions?
I have a question. I'm just trying to connect my video now, but so the elements and embodying the elements, can you talk a little bit about how to connect that into, you know, into sexuality, and where's the connection there?
Yeah, sure. It's all in my book, and it relates to Kundalini energy. So that's why I have the tantric element in there, because Tantra works a lot with the subtle body. So not just the physical body, but also the different layers. And this gets a little bit nuanced with specific types of languages. I'm sorry, I kind of lost track of my train of thought. You asked about how exactly it relates. So the elements is the cleansing of the elements is what Tantra is about, to cleanse the elements. So when someone faces some sort of a trauma, these elements are off balance. And this is found in Ayurveda. There's different doshas, and these doshas or constitutions of the body become imbalanced, and this relates to the elements themselves. So with these practices, you're bringing the balance back into the subtle body, not just the physical body. And the reason I've incorporated art into the process is because there are certain things that cannot be named, like in saying something like, this trauma that I went through is undescribable. I cannot really write it in words or say it to you. The only way that it can be released is through another way, which is the creative process, or like drawing something or painting something or creating something. So the process itself targets different layers of the body.
And can you speak also on, so maybe if you're with a partner that isn't open or interested to participate in the same kind of practices, or maybe the same vocabulary, maybe they have a different way. Do you have any advice around how to work with it yourself, but even when your partner might not relate to your own process?
Yeah, this is not so much about what you would do in a partnership necessarily. This is more about one's own individual journey into healing, because no one else is responsible for your own healing. you are responsible for it. So it's on each individual to address that. It's not about doing this in a partnership. My whole book does not talk about like working with these elements or anything in a partnership-based environment, I guess. And who knows, maybe eventually I will do that, but this is more about resolving what needs to be resolved. So like really looking at one's shadow and the things that are not so apparent to you that are running your life, as opposed to you having like being in control and you running your life. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, I was more thinking about like the act of sex, because usually when I do the act of sex, it's with another person, not all the time, but many times. So and obviously that it's a vulnerable act and it's it brings up a lot. But if my partner isn't engaged in the same kind of journey that I am, is it something? I guess that I'm looking for like how much I'd like to share that with my partner, but then at the same time, as you were saying, there's certain things that are very hard to give words to.
I mean, I'm not a sex therapist, so I think your question should go to, like, you should ask that to a sex therapist. That's not what I'm putting forth in this book. It's not my area of specialty. Let's just put it that way. Okay.
Sure.
Anything else? Anyone? Thank you, Lucia. Okay, I guess this is it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. For those who missed the beginning, you can watch the recording. Maybe, I don't know if I'll post it, but maybe I will. No big deal.
Thank you, Susie. It was great. Did a great job.
Thank you. Except for getting a little emotional, but hey, I didn't think I would. These things, they just hit you like when you least expect it. It's okay. Life happens. But I really appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you can get the book, and I'll definitely do this again after the book is out. I'm sure I'm going to have more questions, but there will be.
Where can we get the book?
So for now, you can order it through me, and it's only available in the States, unfortunately, but it should be available online in October. The reason, I mean, if you can get a bookstore to order it, you could do it that way from Italy, because it has to go through Ingram Spark. So I could order cases here and sell them out from here, but that's the only way, like you can order bulk. So if you know a bookstore and you ask them to order it, they could get a few and do it that way. But the online one will be available in October, so. Okay, thank you everyone once again. I'm gonna end.
Sorry, I was late.
It's okay. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Oh, I wanted to say today's my sister's birthday.
Aw,
Happy birthday.
happy
Thank
birthday,
you.
yeah.
She was out celebrating.
Happy birthday, Maya. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, love you all. Thanks for being here.
Love you.
Thank
Okay.
you, Susie. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you, Susie. Ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao.